hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Let's Play Third Odyssey Back to the Motherland. As the Empire of Elysia, aka Rome, aka Byzantium, over in the Americas, we've managed to carve out a decent little realm for ourselves, and are currently colonizing our way into holding more lands. While our neighbors are busy killing each other, we are civilizing the natives that can be bothered to listen to us. So, let's get back into it, shall we? It's still going to be rather slow, as I mentioned, because we're in the whole peaceful colonization phase rather than anything else at the moment. So it'll take a while to get past that. But so we get more manpower because we're having a really good year. And I'm now able to actually make money. Just to show you, we have our army at about half maintenance, and I'm making 1 gold every month, which is rather nice. Now we have too few rivals, so we're finally strong enough to pick a rival. Interestingly enough. But the only one around here we can pick as a rival are the Tuscarora, who are currently our ally. So I'm afraid that cannot stand. We're going to have to stay away from that particular option for the time being. I'm currently colonizing another place just because we want it, damn it. And after we're done with that one, I am going to try and do a little bit of strategic colonization by colonizing my way into encircling our new ally. But we have just got native assimilation in Diteon. Natives are becoming more gregarious in the province, moving out of their tribes and into the cities by the hundreds. Civilized savages. Will wonders never cease. We gained 200 population there, 2 base manpower and 1 base tax, and that puts us almost up to the point of having that colony as a province. And in fact, we will be there on that pretty soon. Another month or 2, I'd say, and Diteon will be fully colonized. There we go. So, start colonizing over here. And we can now invest in diplomatic technology level 4. So, better trade stuff, but our navy costs more. Essentially. So, our technology is ticking along nicely, even if we do have our little institution problem. All the locals really like us because of our religion. It's lovely. But all the natives are still allied with each other. Our new ally can have, let's see, that's Tuscarora. Yeah, they're our allies, so I'll give them military access. There we are. Now, go on and have fun in your war. Hypothetically speaking, if I was to raise my maintenance all the way up, it would be just below 1 gold per month we'd be making. So I am gonna do that. There we go. Merchants are getting a bit of influence. Now I think we need to start building things and making money. Let me see. What's that? Equal trade power. Down here in Ivos, I'm going to spend 100 gold on a marketplace to increase our trade. Since we're getting more money from trade at the moment, it seems, we may as well push that. And we have a native revolt down there. Our first native revolt thus far, so now we need to hire ourselves a general. Not a particularly good general, but he'll do. So why don't you go down and crush the filthy native rebel scum? There we go. Rebels crushed. And I think the army will hang around there for a while to discourage any future attempts at such things. Let's just say. Definitely a good idea. Seriously? I let you into my lands because I thought you'd just be passing through and be doing stuff on the other sides. I did not do that so you could start having battles within my territory. Lenape. They would like to hire condottieri. And they're allies with my allies, so I might give it a try. We can't push it up to 419, but they cannot afford to pay what it would cost for us to rent out our forces. So, sorry guys, if you can't afford the cost of a mercenary army, I don't do charity around here, so If you can't afford it, you don't get it. End of story. It's not my problem if you're too poor. There's our marketplace done. Which boosts our income up some more. 0.94 with the army at full maintenance. And actually, I'm going to recruit some levy infantry now. A high priesthood. Our pantheon of gods has great appeals to people from all walks of life, but despite this, people are easily distracted and some don't care a lot about gods. A lack of religious authority makes for a free and generally accepting stance to religion, also makes it hard to achieve any meaningful sense of connection between citizens. We establish a high priest for every major god, with the emperor as Pontifex Basilius, supreme religious leader, able to watch over the piety of our people and make sure the proper rites are performed. That would take away a lot of these concerns. Sounds like a plan to me. We lose 50 diplomatic power, get more missionary strength and tolerance of the true faith, but tolerance of heretics and heathens go down, and decrease to local missionary strength in Elysian itself, as in the city. Oh, and we get one missionary. Speaking of, a loin here. They have unrest despite being Greek and Hellenic because of separatism. I'll just have to wait on that to go away. I don't know why, but I thought that they were of a different religion and that was the problem. Apparently not. Heralds. The Pantheon's high priesthood is now firmly established and have created a new missionary class of heralds, the equivalent of our priests back in our Christian days. Because the Emperor has a large amount of influence in the activities of the priesthood, the heralds are requesting permission to spread Hellenism among the native tribes. Not only that, but with their high levels of education and various skills, they could be used as diplomats, preachers, researchers, and in rare cases, even generals. They'll be allowed to extend a limited amount of influence to other Hellenic nations, with the limit of 2 heralds who must report back to us yearly on the state of religious matters. It is an offer we cannot refuse. Enables new interactions for the Hieretra estate and the Dispatch Herald's diplomatic interactions with nearby natives. Let's give that a shot. If I could find it. On here. Apparently they have to like us for us to dispatch heralds. What about our ally over here? You know. You know, I might give that a shot. Suska Whatsit up here, our ally up north. I'll try dispatching heralds to them, just to see what happens. Just sort of out of curiosity, mostly. have a slightly larger army. And they have returned successful from that place. So, did I change their state religion or something? I think we must have done. Let's check the map mode. Hellenic. Yeah, we actually converted them, is what's going on there. We'll dispatch heralds there. And there. Just to see if we can't get a little bit of religious conversion done. They like us, and also, why not? Both have been successful, but our ally down here, it seems, has insulted us. And Ponka here, we can force them to relocate if we wage war on them. But they have a couple of allies. That might not be the best idea. However, now we have access to some new level 5 infantry. Oh, yes, yes, yes. And increase the combat width. So I will now upgrade to the Pronia infantry, as opposed to the Roman levy infantry, since they're apparently just better, for some reason or other. They've moved, so now we don't have access to our ability to force them to relocate anymore. Going to have to remove them from around here eventually, though. But yes, the whole military situation around us right now is a little bit complicated, just based on the fact that we have about the same size army as most of the individual tribes surrounding us, about 6,000 or 7,000 men, but a lot of these surrounding tribes are allied with each other, so if we attack one of them, we'll end up fighting several. Which is the main problem, that we can't take on multiple tribes at once. A generation of cowards. Many long years of peace caused a disturbing lack of manly virtues in the common man. It could be disastrous since far too many of our recruits turn out to be cowards. So we can either lose 3,800 manpower or get a negative to our discipline for about 10 years. Honestly, I'm just gonna eat the negative discipline. I really don't want to lose that much manpower this early on. I really do not. And yes, have your bloody national epic. Whatever. We are now producing fur in our up-and-coming colony. This war, there's just swings and roundabouts right now. our ally... And we've lost the effective friends to natives, as I was saying. Our ally is not doing super great. They're fighting the Lenape up there. So... let's see. Speaking of Lenape... they have no allies right now. I'm going to start building a spy network in their territory. Since they are currently not in a position where they'd... well, how do I put this? The Lenape... once they peace out the war, and yes, you can have access. Once the Lenape peace out, they will have no allies. So I will be able to effectively jump them. Which will then enable me to get a free territory out of that. And they have no allies. Or I could do it while they're at war, but as they're currently under siege, not the best of ideas. Really should have done this beforehand, but oh well. We will wait for the war to come to an end. Sonion Magno. Poseidon, the god of the sea, lord of horses, the patron god to many of our sailors, thanks to his role in the calming of the great storm. Our brave sailors are assembled at the square before the temple, waiting for the ritual to begin. The priests walk out of the temple and stand before the assembled crowd. Great cheers well up from the masses as three single-horned bulls, representing the three prongs of Poseidon's trident, are brought forth and drowned in Neptuno Adventus. As is custom, a ship bearing the name Neptuno Magnus is put to sea. And I will lead the procession myself. Clearly, that is only right. Fuck. That's our ally there, who's just gained a vast swath of territory. I was hoping that we could just jump on them, but it makes sense that they would just expand like that. I suppose I was kind of being a little bit preemptive with the assumption they wouldn't grab anything. Holy Roman Empire nonsense happening right now. So that's lovely and all. So, right now the main problem for getting them to accept vassalization is economic base compared to them, as our economy is not as strong. So basically we just need to grab up some more territory. And the fertile valleys of that place. Scouts and early colonizers have told us that the province has valleys that contain moist, fertile soil. This will be useful for the development of the population. Gain 1 in everything, essentially. And now, our primary culture is flipping from... what was it before? I'm not really sure. Probably Byzantine or Roman, but it's changed to Elysian. So, this is basically like that thing you sometimes get in Crusader Kings 2 in England, where the culture is sort of changed from being Anglo-Saxon and Norman, depending on where you are in the country, to just English. That's kind of cool. Nobles employed as cataphracts. Horses are still a rare commodity brought with us from the east. Ever since then, we tried to protect them from harm as much as possible. Our nobles protect their finest and strongest horses with heavy chainmail, like the cataphracts of old. This has allowed them to command troops safely from the front and join in on cavalry charges without much risk of lethal injuries. Should we encourage this development and adopt commanders and officers from the wealthy nobles only? Let's see. Yes, commanders are most useful on the front and alive would be one option. We lose some legitimacy, lose 10 army tradition. Stability cost goes up, but cavalry combat ability goes up, as does cavalry to infantry ratio. Or we pick no, our command structure must be based on skill and experience, lose 10 prestige, gain 1 stability. Well, we're going to be gaining and losing stability a lot throughout this game, so that's really just a short-term thing, if I'm being honest. This strikes me as the more useful option, quite frankly. So that's what we'll go for. Formation of the Barbaroi Council. Seems the numerous native Barbaroi has not taken our continuous colonization lying down. Several prominent native chieftains and local war heroes have formed a council of sorts in one of our outlying provinces, and they demand greater autonomy and practice their religious customs. Thus far, thanks to their high numbers within our colonies, they have succeeded, and it is likely other such Barbaroi councils will soon form. They will soon know their place. And enables the Barbaroi cadre tier 4 government reform. That's nice, I suppose. Not really too bothered about it, honestly. And we could enable monetary reforms, lose 1 inflation and 1 stability, or gain 3 inflation. What's our inflation like right now? We have 0.8% inflation at the moment. So there's no need, I think. It's probably a stupid thing to be saying, but we have little enough inflation that I can get away with it for the present time. And good, we lost our diplomatic insult, CB. I did not want that, so I'm glad it's gone. Now, though, we can invest in administrative technology and get idea groups. So, how about yes? Speaking of, we now have a free slot for our idea groups, the Elysian ideas are actually quite nice, so... Huh. So it would appear that right now we can only take this very specific development ideas. I suppose it makes sense given that this whole alternate history thing has us expanding in a very particular direction, so we wouldn't be going for quality or quantity ideas or anything like that this early on when we're still establishing ourselves, so development would kind of make sense. We'll go for this one. And the first thing in that group will give us an additional colonist, but we need about 400 admin power to get that, so it's gonna be a while. Oh great, Elysian peasants. They're getting close to a revolt. This is wonderful. That's already our core, though. Actually, why don't we move the army over into there and give them a little bit of a demonstration of why they shouldn't be planning uprisings and the like upon their arrival. And the presence of our army has slowed things down, but not by enough to actually stop any such uprising. Sadly, not by enough for that. Okay. We're trading in tobacco now? How much extra is that going to get us in money when the colony is established? That's the thing we want to know. And are any of the natives going to become civilized and speed things along? Probably no on that last one, but you never know, right? Could happen. Still unlikely, but it could. And some of the nobles and businessmen and the like are giving us money. Put it in the treasury. Put it in the treasury. We can enact a government reform now. Up to tier 3. Centralized or decentralized? Centralized bureaucracy would be monthly autonomy change down by a little bit, and decentralized max promoted cultures. What do we want? More cultures or autonomy? I think I'm going to go with centralized, actually, for that monthly autonomy change, because in general, in EU4, I've always found autonomy to be kind of a pain in the ass. So being able to get just a default reduction to the amount of autonomy would be quite nice. So I am going to take advantage of that, I think. And these assholes keep hopping around. And right now, just looking at this, if I declared war on them, I could call in Tuscarora, who would be willing to help out. Our allies up north wouldn't because of war exhaustion. But this is just because they like us. They'd be willing to help us out. So, I might start down that route. We will start building up a spy network there and see what we can do about that. We'd have to fight both Katawa and Tuetlo. But Tuetlo we haven't discovered yet, so they could be quite far away. I'm gonna risk it. As soon as we can get that claim down, I am going to risk it. They have rivaled us. Apt, given what we're currently doing. So... Ponka, we rival you back. And native assimilation over in our colony. That has fully colonized it. We've lost Brave New World, so we'll just have to establish control of our colonies without any special bonuses beyond what our religion gives us. Now core that. And finally, that I have, now that I've started colonizing Delaware, up here, or Mentheni, as we're calling it, we have control over the bay. We now have control over the entire Elysian Bay and all shipping passing through to our illustrious capital. We are once again in a position to demand toll from trade ships and control the flow of trade. First bit of income has already come in. Money makes us merry. We get money, diplomatic power, bunch of tax and production in Ivos, as well as local trade power and naval force limit there until the end of the game. Cape Hatrias is renamed to Neptuno Aventus, and the Chesapeake Bay becomes Elysian Bay, and the Delaware Bay becomes the Bay of Menthe. Nice, very nice. But those guys are no longer a valid rival for us. Annoyingly enough. There's been an uprising in the territory of one of our rivals. War in the north. Hostilities between the northern and the Norse colonies have reached the breaking point, with war now being declared, the title The True Heir of Ericsson. We shall see who wins, and if the one we're allied with does ask for our help, I'll probably say yes, but I won't actually send them anything. Beyond some good luck wishes, of course. Because those are free. Send good luck wishes without having to send men to die. The Marklandic invasion of Flatterland. Lacking a direct land route, the Vikings of Markland invaded the Hellenic province of Flatterland. Marklandic forces managed to quickly overwhelm local resistance and captured surrounding provinces, putting serious pressure on Helleland. Okay, that's interesting. But they're not actually at war. That was just a series of events, apparently. Fall of Karlburdir. After almost a month of bloody siege warfare, Marklandic forces managed to overwhelm the defenses of Karlburdir and seize the city, thus ending the Northern War. What does this mean for us? First, let me check something. Well, it's probably good for us, actually, because the one that won that Northern War is the one that we had an alliance and trade agreement with. As I said, as the war between the Norse colonies finished, we had now received a new proposition from the victors' merchants. They wished to establish a continuous trade program between our two nations. Yes, we will continue the deal. No reason not to. No reason we shouldn't. Treason against Elysia. Recruitment is out of necessity something that has to be a somewhat decentralized affair. Often it will be entrusted to nobles in the capital, and then they are responsible to turn up a set number of men in the various provinces under our control. This is a system that to some extent relies on trust, as the central government is not involved in the details of countryside mustering, and the only form of control we have are the often sporadic inspections the army itself conducts. One such inspection in Icos has unearthed quite a local scandal. The roles we have for the area is full of fictional names, and nobody seems to know what we could actually muster from the region. That is unfortunate. Or we must punish the perpetrator and conduct our own survey. Yes, punish the perpetrator. Punish the perpetrator. By the way, I think it's time for us to institute a little bit of tough love on the rebels. It won't last forever, but it will help. Now, you're kidding me. Now, of all times, they bloody decided they like our enemies. Ugh. But Catawba would be the only ones getting involved, so maybe it's worth it. I might try. We'll fabricate a claim. And now, declare war. Catty down there want to involve themselves. And we're making decent money, as it is. I'll recruit a few more armies, actually. Once we've pulled them together, we'll start the war. The expedition of Belisarius Pelagios. That guy is a young noble of the imperial house and has been known in the palace for being a masterful censor and an avid student of ancient Hellas. He's gained some influence recently, most notably in the selective recruitment from the army to create a rather large personal retinue. Though ordinarily this may have been a threat, his relatively minor status in court has kept the retinue from growing too large. Now, however, Belisarius has made his intentions clear. He has come to the council for support in an expedition to lands beyond the Cyclades. He has apparently heard rumors on the Barbarori that far to the south lies cities made from gold ruled by vengeful gods. Although it is never directly said, it is clear that he intends to leave, whether or not he is supported. Let's see. We have three options here. We could give him a lot of support. That would put us in negative manpower and money. Just let him go, or ask him to wait. I think we just let him go. I don't know what this guy's up to, but we cannot afford to let him have that many resources, especially when we don't have said resources. Go with my blessing. Your kinsman Belisarius has arrived with his army what he calls Laconia. He has already shown himself a capable commander, seizing the coast and establishing New Sparta after the ancient city of legend. If he renamed himself Leonidas, he seeks to mimic that hero to conquer the Barbarori there against all odds. And this would, if I wanted, allow me to play as Spartacon, as the new nation he's establishing. But I'm not going to do that. May the gods be with him. So we sign a document preventing us from directly interfering in their politics for 50 years after the establishment of their first settlement. I'm fine with that. Okay, so I think we've actually reached a pretty good stopping point for this episode, and next time I will probably wage this war and see if my gamble of trying to take on the two of them pays off or not. And in fact, I will probably let them do the attacking, to see if I can't bait them into a fight. I declare the war, but they strike first and all that. In any case, I will see you next week for the next episode of Third Odyssey, Back to the Motherland. Until then, have a nice day.